Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. Since my battery reserves are very low, I'm doing a real quick recap of the Cantua Creek road race. This is after the first 180 there was an attack that Scott and I are bridging up to. The rest of the pack is spread out right behind us. We have a third teammate in this race, and that's Kevin. Where I was sick last week and missed the race, Tom is sick this week. There were about 19 or 20 starters in this race, and most of them were pretty strong, and some of those had real good snap in their legs. My job again was to monitor the front and make sure nothing got away. Kevin and Scott were more conservative, especially in the first half of the race. In the second half, they were more active. Team San Jose, like OTF, had 3 members on their squad. There are number squads that had 2 members on them, and you can often see them talking during the race, making plans, and doing attacks right after, such as this one. 2 critical points in this race come at the overpass climb about 4 kilometers from the turnaround and of course from the finish. This is where the climbing starts. About 1 kilometer from this overpass on the first half of the climb, that means heading toward the turnaround, the pack lets me roll off the front. As I'm out there, I'm thinking that if I get caught, which I probably will, I'm going to have a hard time staying with these guys on the climb. Still, I'm hoping that a couple people attack the pack, join me, and that we can be off on an honest break. At 30 seconds, I look back, and from my vantage point, it looks like there are 2 people that are attacking. But the pack is not going to let that happen, so they get on their wheels, and in short order, I'm caught. I do my best to recover as I stay toward the front because we are approaching the overpass climb. It is this point where one of the Hammer team attacks. He gets 10 seconds before he's halfway up that overpass climb. I pass a couple guys that have tried to go with him, and then Scott gets in front of me and starts pulling us up. That solo breakaway is fast, but Scott is putting a small dent into him. At a certain point he pulls off, and I take over. I'm having to shift up to a bigger gear just to try and catch up to that guy, and we are now on a small step, so we're not going up as much anymore. All this time I'm at the front, I'm thinking, man, these guys are going to kill me on the climb. Still, I get some real estate back, and I pull off, hoping that someone else will pull through. Someone else does, and unfortunately it's Scott. He went in right behind me. I wish it was someone else from another team doing some work. Still, Scott takes over and makes the connection. Right after, we hit another big bump, and I lose connection. We are on another step, and I am chasing. We start to go up the main climb, at least the first part of it, and I'm putting everything in to try and reconnect. The last of the split out group comes by, including Kevin, who yells, "Come on." I get on his wheel and lose connection again, but still connect. They surge away, I lose connection. I'm still chasing. Getting to the 180 turnaround is critical for me to be able to connect with them again. And I barely connect as they hit the turnaround. But they're going down, I'm coming up, and now I'm chasing on the way down. And after you've been chasing going uphill, it's even harder when you're dropping, trying to chase on the descent. I do catch them before the bottom of the descent. So now I'm breathing like a racehorse, trying to stay tucked in, and we have a few rollers to go before we hit the flats. Hit the flats we do, and it's the headwind section. And there's still attacks going off the front. The attacks don't last long, but they put people in stress. After a series of small attacks, there's one long sustained attack that has everyone guttered to the center line. On this attack, I am at the very back. The person in front of me is slowly starting to let a gap open. And I'm thinking that's just some variability, that he should be able to close it. All of a sudden, he dies off, and I'm left with a gap of about 3 bike lengths to make up in the wind. And I have a hard time doing it, and I don't. For the next mile, I'm cussing, trying to will myself back up to the pack. All this time, they're still on it, increasing their distance between me and them. They finally let up, and I can see them bunch up ahead of me. But this is about 200 meters in front of me. So for about the next 8-9 miles, I'm time trialing, trying to catch them. They're always about 200 meters away from me, but they're going slow, they're all protected, and I'm in the wind going as hard as I can. After the turnaround, they have the wind at their backs, they're attacking each other, and they are gone. I decide to keep making this a workout for myself, and I keep in my time trial mode. So I time trial another 13 miles into the finish. I finish, and my legs are worked. I am disappointed in myself for having lost that wheel in the wind. I am happy, though, for time trialing for over 20 miles and getting a good workout in. So I got to put this behind me and look forward to the Snelling Road Race next weekend. I hope you all like this, and as always, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.